What if building wealth wasn't just about getting lucky, but about following a clear blueprint? Well, today, we're going to break down the entire framework that shows you exactly how wealth is built, how it's managed, and how it's multiplied. Let's dive right in.
So let's just start with this one big question. Is getting wealthy really just a game of chance, kind of like winning the lottery? Or is it a system with rules that you can actually learn and follow? We're betting it's a system, and today we're going to hand you the schematics.
You know, every great building needs a rock-solid foundation. And when we're talking about wealth, that foundation isn't what's in your bank account, it's what's in your head. It's your mindset. So let's start with the internal game.
Take a look at these. Notice that not a single one of them is a financial term. We're talking about continual improvement, always getting better. The discipline to actually stick with a plan, and having the personal values and integrity to build trust. It's about having a growth mindset so you can spot opportunities, using emotional intelligence to navigate people and situations, and setting high expectations that keep pushing you forward. See, before you can manage money, you got to master yourself. This is square one for building any kind of sustainable wealth.
And this right here, this is where things really start to split. While a more conventional mindset might just settle for good enough, a wealth-oriented mindset operates with incredibly high standards and is constantly evaluating everything. It's all about precision. And their biggest fear? It isn't just about losing a little bit of money. It's about losing that competitive edge, that financial dominance they've worked so hard to build.
So, once that mindset is locked in, you need a strategy. Let's move up to the next level and look at the practical tools and the frameworks that are used to manage and, this is crucial, protect that wealth.
You know, the first rule of managing wealth is pretty simple. Don't lose it. And that's exactly where risk management comes in. This isn't just about picking winning stocks. It's a whole strategy for identifying all the potential threats to your finances and then building a fortress to protect against them. And assessing that risk, it's a super detailed 360-degree process. It's not just about your investment portfolio. We're talking about analyzing your family tree for inheritance issues, classifying all your assets to know what you're dealing with, checking your liquidity for emergencies, and even setting up legal structures for protection. Every single one of these things is a potential weak spot that needs a strategy.
Now, when it comes to strategy, there are really two big schools of thought, two core philosophies that drive pretty much every decision. We call them old money and new money. You could say one is all about holding the line, while the other is about charging full speed ahead.
And here's what that actually looks like in the real world. The old money approach, it's all about preservation. They tend to favor stable assets, like real estate and inheritances, playing a slow defensive game. New money, on the other hand, is playing a totally different sport. It's all about aggressive growth, leveraging time by jumping into high-risk, high-reward areas like tech and startups. They're chasing that fast compounding effect.
All right, so mindset is covered, strategy is covered. Now, where do you actually apply them? Let's zoom out from the personal stuff and look at the broader marketplace, the ecosystem where all these opportunities for growth are actually found.
If you look at the current landscape, it's pretty clear that wealth generation is incredibly diverse. I mean, as you can see here, personal savers and consumers make up a huge slice of the pie, but they're followed closely by the tech sector. But it's not just one story. You've got serious wealth coming from doctors, pharma, agriculture, and retail. Opportunity is, well, everywhere.
And looking forward, especially in a powerhouse economy like India, the next wave of wealth is already being built on a foundation of technology and infrastructure. We're talking about the raw intelligence of AI, the foundational power of semiconductors, the efficiency of smart cities, the full-blown revolution of EVs, and the digital economy that connects it all. These aren't just trends, people. These are the engines of future growth.
You know, it's also absolutely crucial to understand that opportunity isn't uniform across the map. It's geographic. In a country as vast as India, different regions have totally distinct economic specialties. You've got the business and trade dominance out in the west, the high-consumption hubs up north, the absolute tech powerhouse in the south, and the industrial zones in the east. Knowing where to look is half the battle.
Okay, now let's widen the lens as far as it can go. Because no individual, no strategy, no market exists in a vacuum. Everything is influenced by these massive global forces that shape the entire system of wealth.
Money doesn't just sit still, right? It flows. And on a global scale, those flows are directed by powerful geopolitical currents. Just think about the immense pull of the US-China competition, the influence that oil producers have, and the shifting tides of consumption between the global north and south.
These massive forces literally create the pathways that capital follows all across the planet.
And those huge global forces? They eventually show up in the real world through the industries that form the backbone of the modern economy. We're talking about tangible stuff: manufacturing, logistics, big consumer brands, drones, and chemicals. These are the sectors that provide the fundamental value for the entire market.
And here is the key takeaway. It doesn't matter what industry you're in or what the global climate is. What makes a business valuable is timeless. It always comes down to 4 things: delivering a great customer experience, building unshakable brand trust, driving constant innovation, and of course, maintaining solid financial management. If you can master these, you create lasting value.
So at the end of the day, this entire framework really reveals one simple truth. Wealth isn't magic, and it's definitely not just luck. It's a system of interconnected parts, from your mindset all the way up to the global markets. And once you learn how that system works, you gain the power to build, to grow, and to secure your own financial future. So, we've just laid out the entire blueprint for you, from what's going on in your own mind all the way to the global stage. The only question left is the one that matters the most for you. Looking at this whole system, which part are you going to start building first?